Hey, what's happening, bread and butter family? It's your old pal Mr. Butter back with you again. I know it's kind of overcast today, but the snow is finally melted. It's been raining like crazy and it's all dreary, but I just felt like doing a review outside, so that's what I've got for you. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It is a brand new channel, but I've got plenty of content coming all the time. I get hype stuff, I get some things that you might have never heard of, but I think it's cool, and I just enjoy talking kicks with all you guys. Alright, without further ado, let's get to this shoe. So it's actually been a while since this one released. This came out well before the end of 2020. I don't know if it was October, September, somewhere around there. It caught my attention immediately. I'm a huge fan of nostalgia. If you're familiar with the channel, then you see that all the time. I am a child of the 80s and 90s, so anything that takes me back to that, I'm a big fan of. Here's a look at the tag. It says KC Torsion Artillery High, and it is a size 10. Colors are crystal white, black, and off-white. And this is what I wanted to show you today. This is the Cudi Torsion Artillery High, or if it looks familiar, you might recognize this as one of the Bill and Ted shoes from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That may have been the first time that you saw this shoe. Keanu Reeves' character, Ted, wore shoes that looked identical to this back in the day. Even without that nostalgia, just the look of this shoe by itself takes me back to late 80s. Late 80s, early 90s. And of course, with Torsion in the name, it does have that popular Adidas torsion system in there. You can really feel whenever you've got a shoe with that. I think it enables you to feel the cushion on the heel and the front of the shoe more. And it just gives you extra support in the arch, and I love that. The outsole of the shoe, even these colors, the grays, the white, the off-white, it just takes me back. The midsole is primarily a nice off-white color, at least wrapping around the heel. And then as you get to the front of the shoe, you've got more of like a bright white. And there's all these nice little accents of black down here. The shoe is primarily a very, very nice leather. It's a heavy grade leather. It's not as soft as the Forum 84 Blue Threads, but it is very soft to the touch, and it feels very high quality, like it'll last for a long, long time. There is a little spot down here which is like a canvas type material or like a nylon type material, and that just wraps on this little accent that goes up here at the base of the tongue and then comes down the other side of the shoe. But aside from that, and aside from these black stripes that are almost like a plastic type material, aside from that, the rest of the shoe is just high quality leather, and I think it came out pretty dope. I know when you see these in hand, you might think that the tongue looks way, way, way too big and that the shoe might look way too bulky for your preference. However, I think it's great. And just to give you guys a good taste of how they look, I'm gonna go ahead and throw them on feet and get some angles that way for you so you can really appreciate how they look. But let me know if you're into these. I think they're awesome. On the heel here, you can see a little bit of the stitching. It kind of reminds me of like a dunk flare. Just the way it's got these different stitched lines going across here. It just reminds me of a dunk a little bit. Then you got the oversized Adidas emblem here. I like that. And I just think the whole shoe really came out nicely. On the inside here, it does actually have some verbiage that points back to the Bill and Ted movies. I think it was Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey, but I think the first one was, I think, Excellent Adventure, and it was in 1989, and then the Bogus Journey was in 91, I believe. At that time, I was like a 10-year-old kid, so man, take me back to that time, and I'll be a huge fan. But anyhow, let's see them on feet. These came with a light gray pair of laces, which I think is a nice touch. I kept them with the green just because I like to keep it as true to the original as I can, and I like the little pop of color. But I think these would look good in the shoe as well. So here they are. The Kid Cudi Torsion Artillery from Adidas. And as I said, these came out in 2020. Something with this much nostalgia doesn't come around that often. I want to keep these in the personal collection for quite some time. I love the colors. I'm a big fan of off-white, gray, black. As I mentioned before, I like that hit of green for the laces, just to make them kind of stand out even more. I like keeping the tongue flipped out a little bit and tucking my jeans in behind it. That's how I did it back in the day too. But the shoe feels great on foot, and you can tell the quality of the materials is just top shelf. And I gotta hand it to Kid Cudi and Adidas on this one. I mean, these things are dope. And just nostalgia overload, you know? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys are feeling these too. I love them. But my opinion may be a little skewed, having grown up in the 80s and 90s. It was a great time to be alive, I know that much. That is a quick look at the Kid Cudi Torsion Artillery High. I also want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Logan J. He might be the only other person that I've talked to that appreciates how well these shoes were done. I think these will probably get harder and harder to get down the road. But right now, I mean, they're pretty slept on. But Logan J, I'm going to put his review down in the comments.